15-minute video of David's death to Facebook Live. A source close to the case tells us the woman's hands were bound to the steering wheel and she was found naked.
Good day, my beautiful people. I am the mysterious Black Bandit. Welcome back to the soon-to-be #1 true crime / tragic events channel on YouTube. Y'all go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any of these videos. And let's get to it. In today's video, I'll be talking about a guy that did a live stream of one of the most gruesome and disturbing videos on Facebook, Earl Lee Johnson. 34-year-old Earl Johnson, who lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, will be going on trial soon for the brutal murder of his 34-year-old girlfriend, Janice David. On April 18, 2022, Earl, who is known as a neighborhood drug dealer, went live on Facebook with Janice stripped naked and tied to the steering wheel with duct tape and jumper cables.
Shoot the car when they come. Get out the car, she's gonna get out the car. Hey, tell her where you at. In the ghost with the devil. Oh yeah. Anything I got when I'm dead, please leave the seat like.
Throughout this 15-minute long video, Earl was seen with what looks like a crowbar, jabbing, stabbing, and beating Janice. Now, Janice David, who was born on November 3rd, 1987, was originally from Port Allen, but moved to Baton Rouge where she first met Earl. She worked for Domino's Pizza full-time and was known as a very sweet and caring person who loved being with her family and friends.
She just wanted somebody to just love her the way she loved, and she never found that.
People who knew her said that she was a very helpful person who would give anyone in need the shirt off her back, but during her life, she struggled with drug addiction, which got her in trouble with the law. According to her close friends, during this point in her life, she was trying her best to get off the drug, even taking the necessary steps to get off of it.
We both just took her to go sign up for a class at her parole and probation officer. It ain't been 2 weeks since we did this. She was supposed to be in class this week.
One of the support specialists who worked close with her said that Janice always had a positive spirit and was very determined to overcome her addiction so she could live a normal life, but unfortunately, she fell short. After meeting Earl, the two of them quickly took a liking to each other and began dating, but apparently Janice didn't know much about his past. In 2005, Earl Johnson had been locked up on several counts of armed robbery, and in 2007, he pled guilty and was convicted of those charges, in which he was sentenced to 15 years in prison without parole. Then on January 27, 2022, he was finally released, but he was right back at it, robbing people and even bragging about it on social media. Now, not even a full 3 months had passed since he was released from prison. Earl Johnson was sitting in the front passenger seat of his vehicle, props his phone up on the dashboard, and starts live streaming on Facebook.
Try to steal my shit. Hey, look. Knock her for real. You man, so play the color game. Richard, what the f this what this is? Man, so really try to steal my shit, jump out the car with drugs, and be like, and try to make like I.
Now, what caught everyone's attention was Janice, who had been tied to the steering wheel with blood all over her face. The way Earl was sweating and mumbling his words, it appeared that he was under the influence of some type of drug or alcohol. But as the live stream continued, over 300 viewers had all gathered on the platform and watched as this lunatic rambles about her stealing from him while periodically jabbing and hit her with what looks like to be a crowbar. Then, on top of that, he was choking her. For 15 minutes straight, Janice had to endure this horrific act as she breathed heavily, begging and pleading for him to stop. Now, eventually, someone who had come across the live stream reported it to Facebook, and they immediately took it down and reported it to police. Facebook even tried to make a digital footprint of the footage to track and eliminate all duplicates, but despite their efforts, at least 10 copies of this video circulated online for at least a full day, reportedly having over 56,000 views and shared over 2,300 times. So as you can imagine, this prompted widespread outrage and called for justice. Now, once the police received this graphic video, they put out a warrant for his arrest as they tried to pinpoint the location of where this incident occurred so they could possibly save Janice from any further harm, but unfortunately, they were too late. Around 4 p.m., the police received another call from a person who was in the Sherwood Forest area saying they spotted a woman's body inside a vehicle at an empty parking lot at the Sherwood's Tower building on 3636 South Sherwood Forest Boulevard near Newcastle Avenue. Around 9:52 p.m. that same day, the police finally arrived to the gruesome scene to witness Janice David's naked and mutilated deceased body slumped over and tied to the steering wheel of a partially burnt BMW with a knife stuck in her neck.
call last night before 10 about the body of a dead woman inside of a car in a parking lot of Sherwood Towers located just off South Sherwood Forest Boulevard. Turns out the body was that of 34-year-old Janice David.
Now, when she arrived at the corridor, it was reported that she had over 10 stab wounds to her head and several to her body with smoke inhalation, ruling her death a homicide. Now, before Earl was even connected to the murder of Janice, he already was in the police custody for a totally different crime. Apparently, after he attacked Janice, he parked the car in the empty parking lot and tried to set it on fire to destroy the evidence. Then he ran to another area of the city and tried to carjack another vehicle. However, the owner caught him as he was inside the vehicle trying to get it started and called the police. As soon as they arrived to the scene, Earl had finally managed to get the car started and took off, leading them on a high-speed chase. Then as they gained on him, he stopped the car and tried to escape on foot, but the police quickly captured him and placed him under arrest. As they made it to the police station, investigators didn't even have a clue that he was involved in the brutal murder of Janice, so he was only charged with theft of a motor vehicle and aggravated flight from an officer. But shortly afterwards, the news had finally made it to the investigators and they decided to question Earl to see if he knew anything about it. Instead of him lying and saying that he didn't have anything to do with it, he confessed to killing Janice. Earl stated that during the time of the incident, he was under the influence of some powerful drugs and used jumper cables to tie her up to the steering wheel and beat her with anything he could put his hands on. According to one source, Janice and Earl had been on a drug binge for about 3 to 4 days prior to the day of her death, and as you see on the video, he was accusing her of stealing money and narcotics from him. And if you listen closely in the video, you can even hear her murmuring, agreeing to his accusation. But many feel that the only reason she was agreeing was in hope that he would stop. But regardless of the matter, Earl Lee Johnson is facing charges of first-degree homicide, second-degree kidnapping, and obstruction of justice, and other charges.
Is there anything you want to say, man?
As today, Earl is being held in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. And that will bring this devastating video to an end, my good people. After doing the research on these events, it seemed like Earl had some type of mental issues, or whatever drug he was taking had him delusional. To just sit there on Facebook Live and stream himself doing these evil things? Something had to be wrong with him. But let me say this, if you have been in a relationship and have experienced some of these domestic disputes, understand that you cannot predict what this person might do to you. So please make sure you have some kind of plan put together to make sure you won't end up in a situation where your life could be taken. If you have friends that you can trust or family members, let them know what's going on and seek some help. All right, family, that will be it for now. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this video down in the comments. And if you enjoy videos like this, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I hope you all had a wonderful and prosperous day, and until next time, stay mysterious, my friends.